remain convinced this is the right market for Major League Baseball?
Look, I think that the demographics, the success that other sports have had, and the amount of tourism here, those three legs of the stool make this an ideal market for us. I have no doubt that this team's going to be really successful in Vegas.
And how confident are you that this stadium gets built on time and on budget? Given the way of the world right now with economics.
I remain confident that it gets built on time. Budgetary issues, some of that's beyond our control. But I think the most important thing to say about that is John Fisher's committed to getting the stadium built, and it will be built.
Rob, the location, your thoughts on it being in the heart of the strip here?
Look, during the process, the relocation process, the A's looked at various alternatives. From the very beginning, we thought the idea of being on the strip was perfect. I stayed right across the street last night. The idea that you can get from some of the great hotels right to this ballpark on foot, I think is ideal from the club's perspective.
When this process began, did you communicate with Jerry Bettman or Roger, other commissioners of the major sports, just to get a feel for what they went through?
Yeah, look, we were well aware of the success that both hockey and football had here. I talk to the other leagues all the time, and obviously the support that this market's shown for professional sports teams was a major piece of our thinking.
Why was it important for you to be here today for this step in the process?
Look, this is really a historic day. The A's have a great history, 9 World Series titles, great players that have played there, and I think today is the beginning of a new chapter in that great history. So, you should be here, and out of respect for all that John Fisher and his team at the A's have gone through in terms of getting here.
For Las Vegas, for baseball, why did you favor relocation over an expansion team?
This is a timing issue. Obviously, during the process, we talked to people here in Las Vegas. Expansion, A, is down the road, and B, who knows whether it actually happens. This was a today opportunity, and I give credit to the governor and the other elected officials here seized the day and took advantage of the opportunity to get a team here in Vegas.
For you, how big was getting this done, a stadium done here, with all the other situations around the league with stadiums?
Yeah, well, I keep a little box. I'm glad I put a check mark next to this one. I'm excited for the A's. I think the new ballpark here, I think the opportunity here is great, and all good for their future.
With sports betting becoming such a fixture and part of the norm these days, are there any concerns in any shape or form of what kind of due diligence in partnerships with books?
Look, I think that given the pervasiveness of sports betting, Las Vegas not really any different than anybody else, any other city in a lot of states here in the U.S. And we are really diligent about our partnerships, and we actually think our partnerships in the sports betting space put us in a better position to monitor what's going on than in the old days when sports betting was illegal.